All right, I'm going to go through a second part of your vendors and the profiles on your site. I know I went through things pretty quickly, but I just want to give you that higher overview of how to set people up. Now, if you come to profiles, you'll also notice that you have categories and attributes here, and these are specific to your vendors, this section. So if we go to categories, here's where you can manage all of the categories you have on your site. So venues, photographers, all of that. So if you need to add a new category, you would just click the plus sign and fill it in. It's very straightforward. If you need to edit one of these, change the photo, something like that, you can just click on it. And you can, I could change the name here. I could edit this image if I want to change the image. I can change the HTML associated with this and in these details. Now we use wedding typically in here for SEO purposes, wedding venues. And we also leave a short title without it. And the reason that is so that we can use it in multiple ways. We don't always have to use the word wedding venues, but it's still pulling in for the SEO purposes. So this is where you come in to edit everything. You can go back to all categories. If you want to change the order your categories are displayed on your website, you simply grab the 4 arrows and you can move them around. And that's going to set the order they are displayed on your site. Some people like to do them alphabetically. Others like to put the most prominent categories first, like venues, photographers, etc. As I mentioned, to add a new one, you simply click the plus sign and you're going to fill in all the data here. So you're going to put in the title. You could say, I don't know, miscellaneous, or maybe this is wedding accessories. I'm just making up something quickly. If you have a short description with yours, you would add it. Many people don't. We have type of category. If you have one that works here, it's just to let the system kind of know. Otherwise, you can just click other. And then you fill in your HTML for SEO here. Again, you're focusing on your keywords for locations. And then the details, as I mentioned, your singular title. This is just so the system can use these words if ever needed in different places in a smart manner. So we have a singular, I would say wedding accessory, plural wedding accessories, and then a short, I usually take out the word wedding. And then you would save that. And you could add the image that goes with that category right here. And that's everything for your categories. I'll keep that nice and quick. It's very simple. And then you have the last piece here that I want to go through quickly is your attributes. And this is where you have complete control over the different attributes your vendors or your profiles have. Some of these we have hard-coded in for venues, like the view, styles, all these kind of things. And then you can see in mine, I've added some descriptions and they apply to all categories. So if you want to edit these, all you do is you can see when I mouse over the cogwheel, it changes so I know which one I'm on. You would just click on it and edit it. If you want to add a new one, same thing, we're going to click the plus sign. You're going to click the plus sign and you're going to fill in the data here. So now you can create this as specific or as generic as you want. You have a lot of control here. If you need help, this is something we're always here to help you with because it's not used as often as blogging and vendors. But you're going to write in the title. Let's say I want to add a price category and I only want it to be on my photographers. So I could choose all categories, or I could say I only want this to show up in my wedding photographers. So I'm going to choose that. That's pulling again based on my categories. And then you have a number of different fields you can choose for how you want this search option to appear on your site. So an input box is exactly like this title one here. An integer would be a number, true or false. So it's like a yes or no. Text, if you want to have a large text box where they can fill in a paragraph, drop-down list, that's exactly like what we're working with now. Or a list, so that would be like a checkbox list. So we're going to choose list. I find this is the most common for searching. It works very well from a user perspective. And we go save. So once we're in here, we can start adding our list of attributes. So I could say, for instance, I want to go $1 sign, $2 signs, $3 signs, and we'll have 4. So that could be my options for how I want people to search by price. If I need to change these, I grab these arrows and I can move them around, or I can delete them there. And then that's done. You can see that I've created this attribute. So now people, if I tag my data, people could search photographers based on their price. And I'll show you how this works with it. If we go back to profiles, and I quickly find a photographer. So let's go wedding photographers. Oh, and search. So we can click into a photographer, and you'll see that in their profile, they now have the option here. So I could choose, they're potentially a very expensive photographer. So when someone searches that price, they would show up. So that's how you can create different attributes and variables in your vendor data. And the reason we do it this way as attributes versus just filling all that data into their description is that then it becomes searchable. If we just write it in the description, that's great, all the info is there, but it's nothing that people can search through. So when we create it as attributes, you create the power for people to search, and that's why we have it that way. And it's very flexible where you can create as custom or as generic, or you can simply just have a description and that's all you have in your database. But you have the flexibility to build out very powerful searching. When you do create new attributes, you will need to just touch base with us and we'll help you make sure it's hooked up properly on the front end. But just so you know, that's what the attributes section and the categories is for. And the last section, I'm not going to go through in detail, but it's your advertisements. And this is where we set up your different banner ad sizes. Now, typically, you can set new banner ads, but it's typically something we'll want to do together to make sure that we get everything set up correctly on the front end of your site for uploading those banner ads as well. But here you can see the different advertisements that my site has set up for it. So I have directory listing, I have banner ads, a square banner ad that's at the top, a horizontal banner ad, and I have an SEO option that I offer people as well. So those are my advertisements. And we set these for you before your site goes live, but I just want you to know what they are here, and we're always here to help you manage and edit these as well if we need to add new ones. So that covers everything with your vendors and profiles now.